Therefore, in order to protect American workers, I will be issuing a temporary suspension of immigration into the United States. You heard about that last night. By pausing immigration, we'll help put unemployed Americans first in line for jobs as America reopens. So important. It would be wrong and unjust for Americans laid off by the virus to be replaced with new immigrant labor flown in from abroad. This order will only apply to individuals seeking a permanent residency. In other words, those receiving green cards. Big factor.
Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chinaza Samson. If this is your first time here, you are highly welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome, my G. Today we're going to be talking about something important, as you must have seen by the title of this video. But before we get into that, it is very important that I issue out this disclaimer. Okay, this video is not endorsed by the United States Department of Defense. Every view that is going to be expressed on this video is mine and mine alone. This does not reflect in any way the official policy or position of the United States Department of Defense or the United States Air Force. Okay, great. Now let's jump right into this video. Today, we're going to be discussing about something very important. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Trump's policy and how it's going to affect immigrant nurses, especially with the EB-3 visa. As we all know, today is a very important day in the United States. Today is January 20th, which is the Trump's inauguration day. A lot of things have been put in, in preparation of his inauguration, coming in as the official president of the United States, starting today. He won the elections back in November 4th of 2024. And today, now, he's no longer going to be the US president-elect, but now he's going to be the US president. So we want to talk about some of his policies and how these policies might affect the EB-3 visa immigration for nurses coming into the United States. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Alrighty? First and foremost, the EB-3 visa, as we all know, is employment-based visa category 3 that nurses, registered nurses, and other skilled professionals use in coming into the United States, thereby obtaining a permanent residency card, which is also known as the green card. Some of Trump's policies in the past as a president kind of affects it, and now we're going to go over some of the policies to see if it's and what we think would be happening in the future with Trump. Alrighty, these are some of the relevant Trump's immigration policies that we think might affect EB-3 visa. Number one is the Buy America, Hire America executive order that was issued out in 2017, where they encourage the US employers to hire US citizens and people who are already in the US, rather than sending out their laborers to different countries or inviting people from different countries to do the jobs. Rather, they want them to hire Americans, if that makes sense, okay?
Together, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that more products are stamped with those wonderful words, made in the USA.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order Tuesday that attempts to make good on one of his biggest campaign pledges.
Buy American and hire American.
They kind of in tightening their scrutiny on EB-3 visas. Everything was kind of tightened down for people to get these visas, if that makes sense. The second one would be increased vetting and processing delays. During Trump's first tenure, we were able to see a lot of delays. His administration implemented some enhanced vetting. They make sure that it was a little bit harder to get the visa. You are more scrutinized than usual. They kind of put a lot to that, right? There was a lot of requests for further evidence. You really have to have everything you need for this visa to the T, right? There was a lot of scrutiny going on. There were a lot of deniers as well, causing some EB-3 increase and delay delay in the process. A lot of people had a lot of delays because of the ref, where they request a photo evidence and now you have to send paper back to them and things like that. One other one, I think, which is the main one we saw in his last year in office, was the immigration ban in 2020.
Therefore, in order to protect American workers, I will be issuing a temporary suspension of immigration into the United States. You heard about that last night. By pausing immigration, we'll help put unemployed Americans first in line for jobs as America reopens. So important. It would be wrong and unjust for Americans laid off by the virus to be replaced with new immigrant labor flown in from abroad. This order will only apply to individuals seeking a permanent residency. In other words, those receiving green cards. Big factor.
This measure was justified to protect the U.S. labor market during the pandemic. Trump implemented this to help reduce inflow of COVID as of 2020. This temporary suspense was issued for certain immigrants, including the EB-3. And we know that Nigeria was part of those people that was affected. This ban was lifted on the first day in office by former president, that is Joe Biden. It was lifted by Joe Biden, and we don't know if it's going to come back in effect now that Trump is back in seat. Now, let's get into potential impact on the EB-3 visa. What do I think that could happen with Trump being the president now to the EB-3 visa process? Number one is, I feel like there's going to be an increased application challenge. There are going to be a lot of challenges with applying. We are going to be seeing more requests for evidence, possibly more denials, and more delays might be created. And this could even create like an obstacle for the applicants, even in industries with critical shortages, such as, the healthcare department. The healthcare department is facing a huge shortage, especially in nursing. We expect to have more nurses, and unfortunately, we have to source outside the United States to get more nurses. And sadly, with what we've seen in Trump's previous administration, it's fair to say that it might also affect this current administration, but at the same time, we can only hope and pray. The second thing I wanted to say is the shortage of healthcare workers. Just like I was saying in the first one, there is a lot of shortages already. This policy is restricting EB-3 visas. It's only going to worsen like the shortages that we're already facing, right, in healthcare. In pandemic, nurses were at a high demand. That was why after the pandemic, there was like a huge inflow of nurses into the United States. Number three is going to be possibly going to see a longer green card backlog, right? Right now, we're already experiencing retrogression. Unfortunately, I feel like the retrogression might be longer than what it is right now because of all these new policies that might be taking effect starting today. We're going to be seeing a lot of backlog. Hopefully, they get relieved. But yes, that one for sure, it's going to make it harder for even people to apply to the United States. Now, the last point I think that is possibly going to impact the EB-3 visa would be uncertainty. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty both for the applicant and for the employers, right? These policies discourages like a lot of employers to hire people because they don't know if when they sponsor you, spend all that money, how many years you're going to spend, waiting for this to happen and things like that. They don't know how long the process might take. So we see that a lot of people might not be sponsoring as much as we would like or would like to encourage them to do. So basically, my hope personally is that the new policies that he's going to be bringing in is going to help. One of Trump's strongest policies while he was running for president was on immigration, right? On immigration laws. He stands strongly against illegal immigrants. Fortunately, EB-3 visa category holders are legal immigrants coming into the United States because they are following the right path. But unfortunately for that is that there's a lot of illegal immigrants, and the United States is really trying hard to take them out and allow people come in like the right way, if that makes sense. But we're just going to have to cross our fingers and hope and pray and see what this year and the next 4 years is going to look like for immigration visas. I hope you find solace in this video. I do pray that people are able to come into the United States. I did see a video. We're not yet sure, but I think we're going to be 100% sure later today when we listen to the policies and when we listen to the inauguration speech to see what Trump has in stock for us. And we're also going to see this Trump's inauguration video. We're going to see if some of the interviews we've been seeing flying around, if they truly stand. We know he said something about giving students, international students here who have schooled in the United States, who have gotten their masters or their undergraduate here in the United States, giving them visas to remain in the United States. We don't know about that just yet, but like I said, we're going to see more. Hopefully, this is a good thing for us. Hopefully, we get better news on how to bring people into the United States legally and in the right way. I hope this video helped you. We're going to go right back into our US series on how to join the US Air Force, the military benefits, things you could get while being in the military. I know a lot of people are not really interested in that as much. I'm trying as much as I can to give a good blend of my life here in the United States and also how to come into the United States and do exactly what I'm doing. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate you all for watching up to this point. It is a big thing for me that you did this, and I truly appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hello, I know a lot of you want to talk to me personally, one-on-one, so I have been away trying to create an avenue where you'll be able to do this, and it is going to go live once this video go live as well. So we are going to start off by admitting just 5 people for this month because my schedule is like crazy busy, but I'm going to be talking to 5 people one-on-one. To access that, for any information regarding that, click on the link in the bio, and also click on the link in the description box of this particular video, and also check my Instagram, my bio. It's also going to be there for you to pick a slot for this month and next month and have everything set up. Alrighty, once you are able to process the payment, I try to put it in Naira, so it's going to be easier for people to have access to. And yeah, so let's see the first set of people that wants to have the conversation. I'm open to having a conversation with you about anything, planning your career, how you want it to go, give you my best professional opinion and advice, and see how you go with that. Alrighty, thank you so much. Thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one.